Hare Krishna. So Arjuna, the most fortunate one, he got darshan of universal form, and after that he got darshan of the most sublime form of Lord Sri Krishna in his original swarupa in the two-handed form. So Krishna, understanding the desire of Arjuna, removed the universal form and then displayed the four-handed feature. And after that, without even Arjuna's request, he displayed his original swarupa of two-handed form. And this enchanted Arjuna a lot. And Arjuna, in the previous Shloka, Shloka number 51, he says that now my mind is composed and I am restored back to my original nature. So when Arjuna stops, now Lord Krishna starts speaking. Now Krishna is acknowledging whatever Arjuna said. So let's see that from Shloka number 52. śrī-bhagavān uvāca su-durdarśam idaṁ rūpaṁ dṛṣṭavān asya mama devā apyasya rūpasya nityaṁ darśana-kāṅkṣiṇaḥ. So here Krishna is speaking, śrī-bhagavān uvāca, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna spoke. Su-durdarśam idaṁ rūpaṁ dṛṣṭavān asya mama. So here he is saying, O Arjuna, this form of mine, this rūpaṁ, idaṁ rūpaṁ, you are now seeing is very difficult to behold. Dṛṣṭavān asya mama su-durdarśam. It's very difficult to behold. And now he is telling, why is it so? Devā api asya rūpasya nityaṁ darśana-kāṅkṣiṇaḥ. The demigods, all the devas, are ever seeking the opportunity to see this form. Nityaṁ, ever seeking. Darśana-kāṅkṣiṇaḥ. They all are hankering to get this darshan, which is so dear. So here, Krishna himself is glorifying his own form, saying so many people are hankering, devi-devtas are hankering. Arjuna, you know what you have got? You have got that darshan, that rare, very rare darshan you have got, O Arjuna. So a very nice shloka and a long purport Srila Prabhupada gives here. Lot of very important points he's putting here in shloka number 52. Here it is said, in the 48th verse of this chapter, Lord Krishna concluded, revealing his universal form, and informed Arjuna that this form is not possible to be seen by so many pious activities, sacrifices, etc. Now here the word su-durdarśam is used, indicating that Krishna's two-handed form is still more confidential. One may be able to see the universal form of Krishna by adding a little tinge of devotional service to various activities like penance, Vedic study and philosophical speculation. It may be possible, but without a tinge of bhakti one cannot see that has already been explained. This point is a very, very important point that is made here. Anything related to Lord Krishna, any aspect of Lord Sri Krishna, if we want to associate, if we want to take darshan or perceive, only by bhakti this is possible. At least there should be tinge of bhakti in the activities that we do. Then it is possible that some reciprocation we'll be able to perceive from Lord Sri Krishna. So just without bhakti, any activity is just a waste. We will not be able to access any attributes of Lord Sri Krishna. This is a very important point. Still, beyond that universal form, the form of Krishna with two hands is still more difficult to see. Even for demigods like Brahma and Lord Shiva, they desire to see him. So here it's a very important point again. Universal form is still okay. But to get darshan of Lord Sri Krishna in his original form, that is the form in Goloka Vrindavana, that is very, very difficult. Even Brahma and Shiva and other devi-devtas, they hanker to see that form. When Lord Sri Krishna was performing his pastimes in Brajabhumi Shri Vrindavan Dham, all the devi-devtas, every day they would come to pay obeisances. Every single day. They would be so eager to see now what activities my Lord is doing. And whenever Lord Sri Krishna, he would kill any demon, all the devi-devtas would be ready with flowers, and they would shower flowers from the top, from the sky, on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, And they would beat kettle drums and all the musical instruments, and some of them would dance, some of them would sing. It would be a festival. So they would all hanker to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the point that is made here. So in one of the videos, we spoke about this, that when Lord Krishna entered the womb of Devaki, at that time, all the Devi Devtas, they were so eager to take darshan of Lord Sri Krishna. And they were all offering prayers to the womb of Devaki, in various ways, glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So the Mathura jail that was there, that became much more than a temple. In the presence of Lord Krishna, he was still covered in the womb. Here it is said, a foolish person may deride him, thinking him an ordinary person, and may offer respect not to him, but to the impersonal something within him. But these are all nonsensical postures. Krishna, in his two-armed form, is actually desired to be seen by demigods like Brahma and Shiva. Avajananti mamudha manushim tanum ashritam. He is not visible to the foolish persons who deride him. So this is another point that is made here, that anyone who derides Lord Sri Krishna's form, they will never be able to perceive his form. They'll always remain in illusion, thinking that Lord is formless. And that's how we see. So many offenders are there all around the world who deride the form of Lord Krishna, and throughout their life they're convinced that Lord is formless. And that's how they leave their body. Just imagine what destination they'll attain. So in this way, it's very important to understand from Bhagavad-gita that Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is a person. And he's not a formless he's not a formless one. In fact, the formless feature of the Lord, that is Brahman, comes from the form of the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Here it is said that Krishna himself has spoken in Bhagavad-gita, and Lord Brahma is glorifying Brahma Samhita, that Lord Sri Krishna has a form. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sat Chit Ananda Vigraha. So Brahma is saying that you, O Krishna, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Parameshwar you are. And do you have a form? Yes, you have a form. Sat, eternal. Chit, full of knowledge and cognizant. Ananda, full of bliss. Vigraha, a form. Sachidananda Vigraha is your form. You are completely spiritual. So whenever, anywhere in the scripture, when we get this word nirakara, so that basically means Lord does not have a material form. That does not mean that Lord does not have a form. The Lord has a form. Which form? Completely spiritual. Chit Ghan, completely spiritual. And then here it is said that for one using a material process, Krishna is considered to be a great historical personality and very learned philosopher, but he is an ordinary man. And even though he was so powerful, he had to accept a material body. And ultimately, they think that the absolute truth is impersonal. Therefore, they think that from this impersonal feature, he assumed a personal feature attached to the material nature. This is a materialistic calculation of the Supreme Lord. Another calculation is speculative. Those who are in search of knowledge also speculate on Krishna and consider him to be less important than the universal form of the Supreme. So many times the ones who don't want to accept Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead, they will say, yeah, Krishna was a great personality. Yeah, he was a great philosopher, he gave such a big philosophy on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and so on and so forth. And some of them would consider Krishna to be lesser than the universal form. Now one thing we can understand is, all such people are less intelligent, not able to understand the absolute truth. They don't have mercy, this is what we understand. They don't have mercy from the Lord. Because only ones who have got the mercy of the Lord, they can actually understand that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Brahman comes from Krishna, universal form comes from Krishna. Everything in this world comes from Krishna. And Krishna himself is saying this in Bhagavad-gita 10th chapter, Shloka number 8. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarva pravartate iti matva bhajante mam bodha bhava samanvitaha. Krishna is saying that everything comes from me, both material and spiritual, and the ones who understand this, they are very intelligent and they worship me with that mood. So, Krishna himself is saying here, who is intelligent? And finally, there are a few more points. Those who are actually in Vedic line hear about Krishna from authority, and by repeated hearing about him, Krishna becomes clear. As we have several times discussed, Krishna is covered by his Yogamaya potency. He is not to be seen or revealed to anyone and everyone. Only by one to whom he reveals himself can he be seen. This is confirmed in the Vedic literature. For one who is a surrendered soul, the absolute truth can actually be understood. So what is the Vedic process? Vedic process is hearing about Krishna. So when we hear about Krishna, what happens? All the contamination that is there in our heart will get cleansed. See, when people are saying Krishna is an ordinary person, he does not exist, he is formless, all the crap that people speak is because of the contamination in the heart. When the contamination is cleansed by every single day chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra and hearing about the glories of Lord Sri Krishna, automatically, by Krishna's mercy, Krishna himself will reveal his form in the heart of the devotee. It is said, Atha Shri Krishna Namadi na bhaved grayam indriye sevon mukhe jivhado swayam eva spuratyada. We cannot capture Krishna by our blunt senses. But if Krishna wants to reveal, yes, that is possible. Swayam eva spuratyada. He will reveal himself. And then a devotee will be able to understand. So this is the way to understand Krishna. We have to hear about Krishna, chant his holy names, heart will get cleansed, Krishna's mercy will flow, and Krishna himself will reveal his original form to all of us. And finally, it is said here, the transcendentalist, by continuous Krishna consciousness and by devotional service to Krishna, can have his spiritual eyes opened and can see Krishna by revelation. So as of now, our eyes are closed, spiritual eyes are closed. With practice of spirituality, the spiritual eyes will get opened. Chakshur unmilitam yena. Our eyes will get opened and then we'll be able to see Krishna. How? By our own endeavor? No. Krishna will reveal. When he reveals, then we'll be able to see. Like here, Krishna gave a vision to Arjuna. That's how he was able to see the universal form. So that's what is mentioned here. Such a revelation is not possible even for the demigods. Therefore, it is difficult even for the demigods to understand Krishna. And the advanced demigods are always in hope of seeing Krishna in his two-handed form. The conclusion is that although to see the universal form of Krishna is very, very difficult and not possible for anyone and everyone, it is still more difficult to understand his personal form as Shyama Sundar. So, the Shyama Sundar form, that is, the form of the Lord in Sri Vrindavan Dham, is very, very rarely accessible as compared to the universal form. So this is what is the point that is made here. So Krishna is telling Arjuna that you are so fortunate. You got darshan of universal form. After that 400 form. And then you've also got darshan of the Shyama Sundar form, the original swarupa of myself. You're very fortunate, Arjuna. Having said this, now Krishna, he is going to talk about who can actually get darshan of this Shyama Sundar form and who cannot. Let's see that in the next video. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.